Hi guys, welcome to my channel, The Bird's Nest. Last week I did a video about the story of my daughter Tela. It was about her life and of her passing, and in that video I go through the whole story of what happened. In this video I am going to read the letter that I wrote to her that I put in her casket when we buried her. I'm also going to share with you our birthday celebration for her, and we're also going to go through her box together. It's her memory box. It's has all sorts of stuff from when she was at the hospital, from before the hospital, and stuff like that I haven't gone through since we lost her, and so I don't even remember like everything that's in there. If you're watching this right now and you're going through something similar, I just want you to know that you are not alone. There is a whole group of mamas out there that know what it's like to walk this earth without having their baby to hold in their arms. And if you need someone to talk to, I'm here, because I don't want anyone to feel like they're alone going through something like this. This is the scrapbook that my husband and I made for her. I mentioned in the last video we worked for days and days on this scrapbook. And in this scrapbook, there's all sorts of pictures, all sorts of poems and stickers and all sorts of stuff, from just her sonogram pictures, her 3D sonogram pictures. So at the end is actually the letter that I wrote to her that I put in her casket. So I'm going to read that letter. To my beautiful daughter Tela, I got pregnant with you mid-October, found out you were a girl when you were 16 weeks old, and we named you Tela shortly after that. I spent most of my pregnancy very nauseous and in and out of the hospital. We listened to your heartbeat every single day, sometimes twice a day, for my entire pregnancy. I got an infection and was told if I didn't deliver you soon, my condition could decline rapidly and I would go to the ICU. You were born on Sunday, March 5th in Texas, weighing 2 ounces shy of a pound and measuring 10 inches. You lived for a half hour and died peacefully in my arms. We spent 3 days with you by our bedside. We sang to you, bathed you, and held you until we were forced to say goodbye. And on Thursday, March 23rd, we will bury you in New York in a casket that your daddy built for you. These are the facts. These are the things people are most comfortable talking about. This is what happened, and this is what we will do. But the facts can't possibly represent who you are and what you mean to me. Neither can any combination of words in any language, but I will try. When I found out I was pregnant with you, I was terrified. Terrified to get attached to you, terrified to lose you. Having lost babies before you, I knew it would be extremely difficult. It would be physically difficult, but mostly emotionally. Slowly, as time went by, there was no denying it any longer. I was in love. The best parts of my days were when we took out the Doppler to listen to your heart beating. It was my new favorite song, and it was always loud and clear. It was so strong and always very easy to find. When I began to feel you moving and kicking inside of me is when I started to relax. I knew you were safe, growing, and alive. My favorite memories were when your daddy could feel you moving too. I didn't know then that those were the only times the three of us would be able to play together, but I am so grateful that we have those memories. My belly, your daddy's hands, your perfect feet, the three of us together is all I have ever wanted, and it was perfect. When I was sick in the hospital during those early months just trying to keep water down, you were right there with me. While I grew weaker, you kept on growing stronger each and every day. We were in it together. Always, every day, it was the two of us. I knew if we could get through those painful few months together, we could do anything together. I was openly hoping that you would be a boy throughout the pregnancy. When I found out you were a girl, I was excited for your daddy because he wanted a girl, but nervous for myself. Will she hate me? Will she be a bad teenager? All of these thoughts melted away the second I saw you. You were instantly my best friend. I knew who you were, and I knew that you knew who I was. You were perfect and sweet and good. I could feel your personality and your soul filling up in the room. I felt silly about ever thinking I wanted a boy more because I felt so close to you. Nothing could ever damage the bond we share. Not an argument, not the teenage years, not even death. So many thoughts were going through my head when I took the pills to induce labor. Will you live? Will you be scared? Will you look like a baby? Will I be allowed to hold you? Will I be afraid to hold you? Will this all be too much for me to handle? The labor was painful and lasted about 5 hours. I knew you were coming, and the mood of the room was somber. I remember not wanting you to come so quickly. This was the last thing we would do as a team, and the last intimate moments where I only could feel you, where only I knew you. After a couple of pushes, you came out, and the nurse took you to the side to weigh you and wrap you up. That moment was the best moment of my life. I was so proud that I just gave birth to you, and I was so proud of you for being so brave. All I wanted to do was see you and hold you. As they took you over, I could see you looked just like your daddy looks when he's sleeping. They put you in my arms and told me that you still had a heartbeat. The feeling I felt at that moment is indescribable. It is a feeling I still feel today, and I will probably feel for the rest of my life. This is my baby. I made this beautiful creature with the love of my life. She comes from love. She is love. She is everything. She is perfect. This is my baby. Look at this pure angel. Look at my baby. Everyone around me was crying, and I knew in my heart how sad it was that I would never see you grow, hear you laugh, or see who you become. But what I held in my arms was so much more than that. It was much more than what you can see, smell, or touch. You were born, and suddenly a bright light was shining from within you to the world, and permanently implanting into my soul. You were a gift to me from the universe. I wasn't unlucky that I didn't get to share an entire life with you. I was lucky that I got to have you in my belly for 5 months and have you in my arms for 3 days. I was blessed to be your mommy, and I will always be your mommy, wherever you are and wherever I am. You are more than a baby to me. You were more than a heartbeat. God decided to let me be your mommy even though he knew you would be taken away too soon. He let me have you. What did I do to deserve such a wonderful miracle? What did I do to deserve such a perfect angel as my daughter? A little girl with 10 fingers and 10 toes. A little girl with beautiful eyelashes and a nose. A little girl who never made any mistakes, never hurt anybody, never got hurt. You are a perfect soul given to me as a gift to treasure and learn from. I have learned so much more from your short life than I have from anything else in my 29 years on this earth. I felt so much pain losing you, but the pain never compared to the love that I felt. I have never known that this type of love existed. Sure, I know people love their children, and I knew I would love you, but I never imagined it would feel like this. You have shown me a whole new level to love, if you can even call it love. The way that I feel for you needs its own word. It is its own feeling. One day, when I become a mommy to another little baby, I will be a better mommy than I could have ever been before you. You have taught me what it is like to have a beautiful life in my arms and to lose that life right before my eyes. Because of you, Tela, I will cherish every moment I have with your future brothers and sisters. I will not take anything for granted. I will love with a passion that could not have existed without you. As soon as I found out you could hear me inside my belly, everything changed. Your daddy and I had to find a better way to communicate with each other. There was no way I was going to yell or curse around you. I didn't want you to be afraid. I didn't want you to know that side of the world. Because of you, Tela, we didn't have one fight or even disagreement for months. We learned how to communicate better than ever before and fell even more in love and closer than ever before. You changed our marriage, and because of your life, I will always be a better wife. Because your life, your daddy and I will be together forever. Saying goodbye to you was the hardest thing I have ever done. Your daddy spent alone time with you, I spent some alone time with you, and we spent those final moments all together as a family. During that alone time I had with you, I held you and cried and whispered things to you that will never be repeated. Things just for us, things just for that moment. I soaked in every inch of you until I had everything memorized. I smelled you over and over again until I thought I would never forget. We took many pictures of you and tried to make as many memories as we could. Even with doing all of these things, it was still excruciating to leave you at the hospital and go home. I couldn't have done it without your daddy. Your daddy is so brave, just like you. Even though his heart was breaking, he was still strong for me so that I had someone to lean on. As the days go on, I feel you more and more with me in my heart. I know that when you are laid to rest, a part of me will die with you. But I also know that you are a part of me, and with my life, a part of yours lives on. Part of your soul is in mine, and I promise I will live the kind of life that will honor who you were. You will look at me from heaven and proudly say to your friends, "That's my mommy." And I will look at your photos and remember your sweet face, pure soul, and intoxicating smell, and proudly say, "That's my baby." That letter is very special to me, so I'm really hoping that it can help someone not feel so alone if they're going through this. I'm gonna go through her box now, and then after that we're gonna have her birthday celebration. Okay, let's go open the box. These are all of my medical records from when I lost Tela. It's a lot. These are just all the papers. This is a lot of papers. What's in here? This is the receipt from her burial. It was about $1,000 to bury her, and the headstone was another like $800. Now I'm gonna open this box. So this was the doll that actually was at our gender reveal, and she was underneath a box and a box and a box, and this was the last box, and this is how we knew that Tela was a girl, because this doll was in the last box. And this doll was actually wearing a dress that Tela is now buried in. The dress fit her perfectly, and she's buried in that dress now. This is a fetal Doppler that we listened to Tela's heartbeat like all the time when we were pregnant, and it gave us such peace of mind. It was like our bonding time with her. This is a candle from her 3rd birthday. Every year we celebrate her birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tela. Happy birthday to you.
This year was number 4. These are just some like swaddles and stuff we got as gifts. Like this little bath robe thing. I couldn't wait to put her in that. This butterfly I kept in my room for a while afterwards. It always reminded me of her. I associate butterflies with her now, and the funny story is that before my gender reveal with my son, I just knew he was a boy, and before the gender reveal I had this really, really large butterfly land on me, on my foot, and the butterfly was closed, and then it opened up like this, and it was bright blue, a bright blue butterfly, and I just knew it was her, and I knew it was her telling me that I was having a boy. These are all the pamphlets from the support group I went to after she was born. This support group like literally saved me. And I highly suggest going to a support group if you're going through something similar. Still have my pregnancy tests from when I found out. In this box are some of the flowers that we got when we were at the hospital. So as I said before, my mom was supposed to come visit that weekend, but she didn't end up coming, and she had booked a hotel room. So instead of going home, my husband and I went to this hotel room for 2 days, and we just like locked ourselves in this hotel room, and we made an entire scrapbook for her. Pictures, quotes, sayings. We like poured our whole love into it. We spent hours and hours and hours and hours on this scrapbook. It felt like we just needed to put our energy somewhere. We just needed to do something with all of this love that we had. And the weird thing about it is that every time we worked on this scrapbook, my milk came in, and it was like my body just knew that I was looking at my baby, and I just wanted to like feed my baby. And my milk kept coming like out, kept dripping out every single time we worked on the scrapbook. And that's another thing that nobody told me about. Nobody said, your milk is gonna come in, here's what to do about that. It was like a shock for me, and it was so sad. It was so sad for me. I wish they would have told me that there's different options. There's options for me to dry it up. There's options if I wanted to donate. I would have loved to donate it. I would have loved to do that in her name, but nobody told me that my milk was gonna come in. This is the box that they gave us at the hospital after she passed, and they have volunteers make these boxes for babies that are not gonna live. And since that time, my husband and I have actually went back to that hospital when we visit Houston to make boxes for other families. This is her certificate of death. And these are just some cards that we got from people after she died. This is actually from my birth mother, got a star registered in her name. And this is information about that. So this is the box that we had when we were at the hospital with her, and this is all of the memories with her. This is the little bear that she cuddled with. This is the 0 candle that we had at her funeral. We had a cake for her. This is the hairbrush I used while I was at the hospital, and my hair is still in there. This is the shampoo wash we used to bathe her. Oh my god. It's crazy how it smells. It like smells more than anything, can just bring you right back somewhere. This is one of her little hats. And then this is the little swaddle that she used and the hat that she used. And I'm keeping it in here to like preserve the smell. And this here is actually the first thing she wore. This dress and this hat. It's called an angel gown, and it's made out of somebody's old wedding dress. You can donate your wedding dress for people to use for their little baby when they pass away. It's such a beautiful thing. So these are candles from each of her birthdays that we had, 1, 2, and 3. And here's a 3D. We have so many pictures. And we have the scrapbook. Here's a picture of her casket on the outside. Here's a picture of my birthday after she was born. My husband brought me this blanket. At the hospital, they also did her footprints, and I'm forever grateful to have those. Here's a New Testament that they put in her little box. And there's like a little note here. I just found a note that's from my husband on my first Mother's Day without Tela. So thanks guys for going through this box with me. It was really emotional. I haven't been through it like that since ever. And I haven't been through the story about what happened to her ever either. So I really hope that this can be of help to any mommies who are going through this or have gone through this in the past, and know that you're not alone. And also, I just want people to know that they need to advocate for themselves, and you know your body better than anybody else does. So if somebody's not going to listen to you, find somebody that will. Don't let somebody who doesn't know you tell you what's going on with your body. Advocate for yourself. Advocate, advocate, advocate. Thanks for doing this with me today, guys. It's been really cathartic. And subscribe below and like this video if you want to hear more about my story. And I think this month I'm just going to do a whole bunch of fertility things about my 5-year fertility journey and where that's led me. So stay tuned for those videos and have a great day. Bye.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tela. Happy birthday to you. Hold on. Yes.
Good job, buddy. Ready, blow it out, bud?
1,
2,
2, 3.